impact and meeting the objectives we set out. And I think we were just chatting with Beverly and a couple of other mentors. 6 months have just flown by. We had the kickoff in June. It's already almost end of November. Where has time gone? But 6 months is quite a long, I mean, for mentoring, it's short, but you know, given that that's sort of half our professional year, it's not negligible, right? So we kicked off in June, we're concluding today. In that time, we've been incredibly fortunate to engage with 6 fabulous mentors, of which I think almost all of you, again, are showing your commitment and dedication to this program by being here today. So thank you for that. We've had 32 mentees join us on this adventure. I started counting the number of meetings and then gave up. All of you have met at least 3 times, and that was really the requirement. But I think most of you have met at least once or possibly even twice a month in that time. Of course, what that really ends up with is lifelong learnings, whether these are learnings you will take with you as you journey to the board, as you journey through your leadership, or just generally journey through life. And we hope that this program also has created lasting connections, not just with you and your mentor, but also amongst your peer groups. What I'd like to now hear from you guys is what has been your main takeaway from this program. And this is where I encourage you to either open up a new browser window or grab your phones and join us at slido.com. I'm going to very quickly change my screen here. Okay, so it's good when I get the first response. It just means people need a minute to think about it. In one word, describe what you have taken away from this mentoring. Oh, we're seeing some great things here. So clarity, inspiration, friendship and relationships, next level behavior. Yep. Interaction, sacrifice, taking responsibility. Yes, absolutely. Confidence, preparation. And you're probably all thinking, well, what do I do with one word? I really need kind of a paragraph, right? But thank you for sharing that one key word that you've taken away from this. Okay, this is great. And I think, right, Catherine, when we were designing the program, these were all the components that we wanted to build into it. And really, we've left the program quite open-ended. It was for you to latch onto it and to really make it your own. So later we'll be excited to hear from the mentoring groups what, you know, your mentoring journey has been like. Great, thank you so much. We've got most of the responses in. We will leave the Slido open. And we'll share, oh, confidence, there we go, that's a big one. We will share this word cloud with you in the debrief email for your reference as well. With that, I would love to hand it over to Catherine to really help us close off the program today. Catherine, can I hand it over to you?
Thank you very much, Marcella. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, in case there is a gentleman here. Yes, it's been 6 months, but it's been 6 short, impactful months, at least from what I see. Sorry, Lillian? Okay. For me, from what I have seen, the feedback that I have gotten, both from the mentees and the mentors, gives me the confidence to say that there have been 6 very, very impactful months. One of the things that I learned from my father growing up was that the greatest gift that one could give is to give of oneself, to give of your time. It's not about material things. It's about being there and holding somebody else's hand. And that is what our mentors have done over the last 6 months. I have seen a willingness to give of themselves that I have not seen anywhere else. And that gives me great, great joy, because at Women on Boards, we do rely on that type of giving in order to impact lives, in order to impact businesses, in order to impact our next generation of leaders. I have seen sacrifice that I have not seen from anybody else. I have seen groups meeting in mentors' houses. I have seen groups sharing in family meals. I have seen groups being invited to offices. I mean, what can you call that? It was awesome. And I want to thank the mentors for making that happen. I want to thank the mentees for being available to meet with the mentors when they needed to meet. When we set out this program, we thought that it would be important for us to provide opportunities, particularly for the next generation of female directors, to develop their board experiences, to develop their board leadership, to understand the value of their own brands. We aimed to help inspire and really encourage ladies to take up board positions. And when those board positions become available, to really be, top of their performance when they sit on boards. And I think from the feedback that I have seen, we have actually achieved that objective. I'm really, really happy that at Women on Boards, we were able to put together a group of mentors who were so willing to assist. And my thanks, my gratitude goes out to you, the mentors. We set out to increase the knowledge and the skills of the mentees in board leadership. And I think from the feedback that I'm seeing, that has been achieved. We set out really to provide opportunities for mentees to expand their networks. I think from the feedback that I'm seeing, that has been achieved. We set out for mentees to feel confident at the end of the program. When I look at the word cloud that Marcella put up, that seems to be a big one. That seems to have run through, it was a theme that ran through all the groups. And so for me, that is really, really pleasing to note. Board culture is not an easy thing to crack, but it is from holding the hands of mentees that they get to understand what happens in boardrooms, how they can really fit into the board culture when they finally become board members. It is that experiential knowledge that they get from each of the mentors that is really important, not the textbook skills that we teach as corporate governance specialists. It's really that experiential learning that is important. It is what will create impact for future leaders. And I want to thank each and every one of you for making the program so successful. And so on behalf of the Women on Boards Network, please accept our sincere gratitude. This goes out to the mentors for giving of your time, for giving of yourself to make this program a success. As Marcella said, lifelong relationships have been created. And I know that you will willingly support those mentees in your group who will reach out to you. I know it, I feel it. It is something that comes naturally for some of us, but I don't take it for granted. And so I want to appreciate you for doing exactly that. For the mentees, there is always somebody willing to go out of their way to support you. All you need to do is to ask. And what's the worst you can get? A no. And then you move on. These mentors are willing to support us. And so please, let's utilize the wealth of knowledge, the wealth of experience that they have to impact the next generation of boards, to impact the next generation of businesses, to impact society, to change society. You know, I was reading somewhere that right now we're really talking about ESG, environmental social governance. But the two pillars that are most important now, and COVID has taught us that, are the social pillar. And this program fits smugly in that pillar. And so as I conclude, thank you so much for making this program so wonderful. I did not go through mentorship when I was very young. I latched onto mentorship when I started working. But we will look to ensure that going forward, we also provide opportunities for people to start mentorship quite early so that their leadership journey is nurtured quite early. So thank you so much. Marcella, back to you.
Thank you, Catherine. Thank you so much for summarizing the feedback we're hearing. And I think just the thoughts and emotions that are going through all of us, especially as we are sort of concluding the program and the year. With that, Catherine, I think we're going to put our mentoring groups on the spot. So let me very briefly just describe how we're going to do this. So Kantai is our technical magician in the background, and she is going to set up a virtual stage. Now, our first group up is going to be the board venture group. If I could ask you to please raise your hand. So in the reactions group, in the reactions, you can raise a virtual hand. If you don't mind raising your hand, if you're in the board venture group, your name pops to the top of the participant list. Thank you. We've got Rachel at the top. I think Jackie, Joyce, Peter does send his apologies. Unfortunately, he could not make it to today's session, but we will send him the group photo. So if I could get everyone in the board venture group to please raise your virtual hand. And then Kantai, can we get the immersive background going?
Yes, please.
Okay, let's just wait for 1 second. You'll see it transform on your screen. No need to do anything. Okay. All right, while we're waiting for this to get sorted, Rachel, I believe you are the group lead. Is that right? I think we've got you on mute.
Good morning, everybody. Yes, I am the group leader, or was.
Great. If you could, on behalf of your group, share maybe just in a minute or two, what was your key takeaway from the program and any words of appreciation you might have for your mentor also. I'll hand it over to you.
Thank you. Good morning, everybody. My name is Rachel Wandia. I'm a marketing consultant. Yes, I was the head or the leader of the board venturers group, and Peter Kashuba was our mentor. We had a really good time with him, and he was very open in that he invited some of his friends who are board members, and especially ladies, to mentor us as well. So that was very wonderful that he opened his networks to us. And one of the key learnings that we had is you must know who you are and what your values are, who you represent, so that even as you seek for board positions, you are seeking for positions that align with your spirit and align with what you love to do. And therefore, even whatever may happen in the board, if it is uncomfortable for you, then you already have a value system that you can refer to and that you can use as your guiding compass so that you can be able to know, should I stay in this board or should I not? Or even should I apply for a board position in this organization or not? So I found that very amazing because it's the basis of who you are and how you proceed on from there, and gives you so much guidance on how to progress. So we're very thankful for Peter for not just his own mentorship, but for bringing us some very heavy hitters to talk to us about board positions and how we should carry ourselves as women and as board members.
Great, thank you so much. And I think that's exactly what Catherine was saying as well, that board dynamic. It's a very difficult journey I wouldn't say to the top because there's really no top, but it's just a very difficult journey to navigate. And to have someone like Peter give you that authentic and not necessarily easy feedback and guidance is probably the most valuable thing you're going to get out of this program. That's fabulous. Thank you so much for your sharing, Rachel. Kantai, are we okay to take the group photo?
Yes, we are set.
Okay, I'll take a group. I'm gonna take a photo on 3, 2, smile, ladies. And we will Photoshop Peter and the rest of your group in there as well. Great, thank you so much, Rachel. And to the entire group, congratulations on completing the group mentoring program. Okay, the virtual stage, it's a work in progress, but I like it. With that, I will invite the next mentoring group onto our virtual stage. If you are part of the Daraja girls, I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. Your mentor is Beverly. I think we've got Grace, Farida, Michelle, and a few more of the ladies in the audience. If you can give us a virtual raised hand, then we will get you onto this virtual stage. Okay, there we go. Give us 1 second. And then Grace, I believe you are the group lead. Have we got you here with us today? Yes, I see your hand up. Great. If you could please share your learnings, and then Beverly, if you want to jump on that afterwards and share any final thoughts for your group. Grace, over to you. I think we can, there we go. Yes, we can see you. Welcome to the virtual stage. Over to you.
Thank you, Marcella. It's been a pleasure to be part of this group. I would like to start by thanking one of my former classmates who invited me, who extended an invitation to join this group. Otherwise, I would have totally missed it and missed meeting up the lovely ladies that I have met in this program. I would like to thank Bev because she opened up herself to us beyond the main thing to discuss personal matters. What I would like to say about her is, and what I've appreciated is that she matches her words or promises with action, which is quite rare in this day and age, especially in the professional circles. She's forthright and she's personable. She's very easy to relate with. In all our discussions, all the ladies were at ease to share whatever issues they had and voice their opinions. And then she is fun. To end it all, because well, it wouldn't have been so good. It was all so she's all upright and all, but she is fun and it's been a blessing to know her. And what I have taken away from her, I think even for all of us, is because we were all looking at moving to the next level, which was our main area of focus. And we had a mentorship session on the next level behavior. And my checkup was, well, whatever level you're at, you think about your legacy. What do you want your legacy to be, which will then shape your behavior? And then you have to calculate like what is it going to deliver and what is it going to cost? And then you have to put in the work to address those three. And I think I can leave it at that. Thank you, Beverly. And thank you, the other ladies, Michelle, Rachel, sorry.
Judy, Sophia.
It was really nice to meet all Farida. It was really nice to meet you, and I hope we keep the network going. And thank you very much for the Women on Boards for this opportunity, which has opened for us more opportunities. And for me, a member who is not a member of Women on Boards, I look forward to joining next year and getting to grow in this group. Thank you very much.
Great. Thank you, Grace. I agree that what is the legacy you want to leave behind? It's a very heavy question, but it's also a very strong guiding question. That's fabulous. Thank you for your sharing. Beverly, can I hand it over to you?
Yes, of course. So thank you, Daraja girls. I made the mistake of calling them ladies a few times and they reminded me that they were still girls. So I work with, Sophia, Judy, Michelle, Farida, Rachel, Grace. We had the opportunity to have both face-to-face and Zoom conversations, and it was a real pleasure to meet them all. The interesting thing for me, I think, was how eclectic everybody's background was. So the different areas of business that they were all working in, and then trying to bring that together and find some insights that would be impactful for all of them, but in different ways based on their careers. I think I would just like to ask all of them to please continue to commit time to self-development and self-care, because it's really, really important. At times it was difficult for us to all sort of get everybody together. We unfortunately had some very sad occurrences during the time together. A couple of people lost parents, and so we were really trying to come together as a group around all of these life events. But I really wanted to say thank you to all of them, to their commitment and time that they contributed, and I was really happy to have them all at my house, and we had a really fun afternoon. Very briefly, I think some of the things for me that I hope they'll walk away with was around improving confidence, because a lot of people, we talked about imposter syndrome, whatever that means, and improving confidence is ultimately one of those inputs that can allow you to take that seat at the table. I think in order to continue to commit to self-development, you need to remain curious and listen to others' inputs. And I saw that very actively every time that we met. Everybody had something to say. Commitment to your own personal career. You can see I've got lots of C's going on here. It's critical. Things don't happen by accident. You have to continue to commit to being the one that drives your career forwards. And with confidence, curiosity and commitment, I think that will be contagious on others. So therefore, your ability to behave and act within a board setting will be really impactful on others. So I hope, that's what you take from our conversations. I've said to all of the girls that that feel free to stay in touch. And I look forward to seeing your careers progress. Thanks, Catherine, for asking me.
Thank you so much, Beverly. So many great takeaways. And like you said, build confidence, but the main takeaway there is it's an ongoing and a never-ending process. There is no end goal. It's a continuous process. And if you can build that network of the ladies or girls to support you in that process, it will just make it a little easier. Thank you so much. Can I take a group photo on 3, 2, 1, smile. Great, and we will be sharing these with you as well. I'm going to take one more. 3, 2, 1, smile. Thank you so much, and congratulations on completing the program. And Beverly, we might be tapping into your wisdom again in the future. Great. As we take down this virtual stage and we prepare for the next one, the next group, and I hope I'm pronouncing this correctly, the Vipepo girls. If you are in that group, kindly raise your virtual hand. It will just help us in setting up the virtual stage. And we've got Wambui as the mentor. let's give them a second to jump onto that stage. And I think we've got, Chebet, we've got you. Yeah, you had your hand up first. I understand that you are the group lead. We'll just wait for the virtual stage, and then we'd love to hear your final thoughts as well. I guess this is one way of networking. You see everyone, you go, oh yes, good. Put some name to faces continuously. Okay, with that, can I hand it over to Chebe? I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly, to share your thoughts with the group.
All right, thank you. My name is Chebet. I work in the ICT space. Our name Vipepeo was what we were hoping to accomplish from this journey, just a complete metamorphosis from where we had been to where we are hoping to move forward to. So our journey in leadership, our journey with getting to the C-suite, and also to get into board positions. So it's been a very wonderful 6 months that we've had with Wambui. I think our main takeout as a group is the importance of having sponsors, the importance of clarifying our goals as we walk the journey. And I think by the time we were done with this journey, like today, we've all committed to raise the bar in our journeys going forward. That means we need to be intentional, to take action, and to reflect along this journey that we're going for. So that is our commitment as the Vipepeo girls as we move forward. And just an appreciation for Wambui. I mean, she's been so amazing to us, guys. She's been very open. She's been very approachable, very vulnerable and authentic in sharing her journey with us. She's shared her personal journey, her career journey, even about investments. She's gone over and above to really just take us through what it takes to walk through this life as a woman in this generation we are today. She's really listened to us because we've come from different spaces also in our careers and in our journeys, but she's been able to come to each level we are at, and really listen and guide us through our individual journeys, taught us how to think strategically, and walk this journey as being a strategic thinker and in all facets of our lives. We were fortunate during this process to walk with her also this journey when she was becoming a member of a new board. So we also learned a lot during this journey of hers. So we were very fortunate about that. She also gave us really small practical tips and things that we can walk with every day. So it's tools really that to go through this journey. What was also very amazing, she had one-on-one sessions with us as well. So based on our needs and what she saw and areas that we needed to improve on, she took the time out to have individual sessions with us. And for that, we are really, really grateful for a very, I'm sure she's so busy and so committed to so many things. She was 110% committed to walking this journey with us. So, I mean, there are many small little things we can say. I think we've improved our profiles, our CVs, our LinkedIn platforms, and we don't want to disappoint her. I hope 1 year down the line, she will be seeing great things that we are doing. So, asante sana Wambui, may God bless you. We love you so much. Thank you.
Oh, thank you so much. Again, so many great takeaways. And for Wambui to meet with all of you one-to-one is golden. So it sounds like you guys had a fantastic journey together. Wambui, can I hand it over to you?
Yes, thank you so much. So Vipepeos, it's been a great journey. These are wonderful women that you chose to put in the group that I was in. And like I was telling them, even as they were thinking I was mentoring them. I was also being mentored by them, you know, bottom up, so to speak, not the political one, but yeah, literally. I mean, I've learned so much from each and every one of these ladies. We have challenged each other, books to read, you know, and many things that is happening in their space. So it's very interesting that when we started, you know, we realized, okay, board, you know, there's a whole aspect of how to get into boards, but people also had other needs, like how do you rise up the C-suite? You know, how do you clarify? How do you get clarity in life, confidence? And it's so interesting because as we're walking this journey, some people, just to build their confidence, took up the challenge to be MCs in their spaces. Others realized that they were in a board and they really didn't know they were in a board. So now they had to start structuring and saying, okay, I'm the, you know, this is a chair, this is, you know, they're actually in a board making decisions, you know, in a group setting, and they didn't know. So they restructured it into a board. And others, you know, had to beef up their LinkedIn profiles and so on. So it was really an amazing journey. All of it happening in the dynamics of family things happening. I mean, people lost loved ones, even as we're going through the journey. And that is how life is. It's not a bubble. Even as you're getting into your board roles and so on, life is also happening, and you need to be able to work through all these things. So my charge, as I sort of conclude, what I charged the team with in our last meeting was to raise the bar. And it's very interesting because somebody in the previous group talked about next level behavior. It's exactly what I was telling the ladies, and Chebet summarized it very well. So to raise the bar is to set a higher standard or to raise expectations for yourself. Because when you raise expectation for yourself, then other people want you to in their group so that you can also raise their expectation, you know? So the bar is the BAR. B is for be intentional. Nothing will happen by magic. Action it, actionable. Do something about, you know, those goals and intention, and then always reflect. And then it goes back into, again, you know, being intentional. And that's how you raise the bar. So thank you very much. I was honored to meet each one of these lovely ladies. And like I told them in our last meeting, I pray that God will bless them. Mpaka washangai. Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you so much. I love that. Raise the bar. But at the same time, everyone's journey is unique. So you raise the bar in a way that works for you. Thank you so much for the sharing. I would love to take a group photo so we can share it with you. A couple of you, if you don't mind, thank you, turning on your cameras. Nemo and Millicent, if you can hear me, if you don't mind just popping on your cameras, then I can take the group photo. That's fabulous. Millicent, I don't see you, but if I'm happy to proceed with the photo, if that would be easiest. Okay, well, I'll take a shot. 3, 2, smile. Great, and I will just take, no problem, Millicent. If you send us your photo, we'll Photoshop it in. You know, that's the advantage of virtual. One more photo, 3, 2, 1, smile. Thank you so much. That was fabulous. Great. So as we've got the ladies coming off of this virtual stage, we will be welcoming the next group of mentees with their mentor. We've got the Thai Dada, and we've got Mary, I believe you're with us, your mentor for the group. Just like last time, if you are part of this group, kindly raise your virtual hand. And then our technical magician, Kantai, will jump you onto the virtual stage. Let's just give her a second there. I think we've got a number of the ladies with us. Yvonne, Emily, Lillian, great to see you. Fabulous. And we've got Yvonne as the group lead. Can I hand it over to you to share on behalf?
All right, good morning. Am I audible?
Good morning. Yes, we can hear you.
All right, so we are called Tai Dadas, and we called ourselves Tai because of Tai is a Swahili name for eagle. So we actually thought if you look at the qualities of an eagle, flies high, takes care of its little ones, and also it's a very strategic part. So we decided to call ourselves Tai Dada. And our mentor, Mary, is an eagle herself. She needs no introduction to what it is, who she is, and what she has done. So for me, let me start with thanking Mary will be the last one. But what we learned from Mary is mastery. I mean, she could not have harped that enough. You need to be a master of your craft. You need to know when people know there's a certain problem, let them think you. All right. Then the moment that your mastery gets you to that level, now you need to work on the other skills that get you to the leadership table. So mastery was one of the things she told us. Then there is also humility. Mary was an example of, she was very, she was very humble. Invited us to her place. All of us had, the first day we all got lost, and she made jokes about it. And by the time we were landing on her, breakfast table, we had all relaxed. So we were not going in feeling, oh my goodness, this is Mary, we're going to Mary's house. No. And then she served us herself. And I remember, very many women, we keep saying, should we serve men tea? Should we not? That was her answer, was the most profound answer. What is wrong with me serving a fellow director a cup of tea? But what is your contribution to agenda number 4? What is your contribution towards what you've been tasked to do? Because now we start measuring on minor things, and then we lose focus as to why we are really on the board. So that for me was a big takeout. Then, what we also as a group learned from her was, you just don't wake up and you're married. You just don't wake up and you're in the corner office. She was very vulnerable, shared her story from a small office in town, where she would get robbed her watches. She went on and on and on and on until now to where she is. It encouraged me that, Yvonne, hey, you have a long way to go. So we want to thank you, Mary, for opening up your house to us, for feeding us every time we'd go to Mary's house on a feast. And, and for allowing all the ladies to share their stories. We learned from all of us. Like we know there's one, we're about to start, the business of rabbits together, thanks to Mary, allowing her to talk about her experience. So Mary, we appreciate you. And we know you got these children of yours when you are at a very busy time of your career, where you even had to shelve some things. I remember we had one meeting as you're driving from somewhere to somewhere. And, you said, girls, bear with me, but, we have to do what we have to do. So we would like all of us to thank you for the lessons that we learned. And even as we agreed, it's a beginning of a friendship. And we will be calling on your doors, and we will be asking you, to guide us on a few issues that we may be having along the way. And we are forever grateful for your guidance, opening up your home, and the vulnerability that you brought to the table. God bless you.
Thank you so much, Yvonne. I love that. Again, so many key takeaways. And I think the main one you started with was mastery. Master your skills, master your networking, building that sisterhood, and then master your journey to the board. Thank you for sharing. Can I hand it over to you, Mary, for your final thoughts?
Yes, of course. Thank you. And good to see you, my girls also, and everybody else today. Thank you so much, Marcel, for this session, Catherine, and the team at the network. I think for me, it's been really a fantastic time. And I think I must also say, like someone else said earlier, I think I probably got the best team ever. Now, Yvonne is reporting us that we digress from the main topic, and it is true. At some point, I think we discussed even retirement. We discussed how to build a house and how not to build a house, and several other things. So I can just say that in addition to getting 5 mentees, I got 5 new friends. And for me, first of all, they are friends, and secondly, we had a job to do. And I was really pleased to spend the time that we did with them. What I also liked is that, by the way, I didn't tell them anything. All the things that we discussed, it was very, very interactive. So I asked them, tell me what you think about this, and all the ideas came from them. We discussed, and what also I liked, just like someone else said this, everybody brought very different perspectives based on where they are coming from and where they want to go. And that really enriched the sessions that we had. We actually could not keep track of the time because there was so much to be said. And I talked not a lot of most of the time. So it was them just exchanging ideas. And I think, and I do hope that at the end of the sessions, they all felt like they actually knew more than they thought they knew. And they were capable of doing more than they actually thought they were capable of doing. And that was the idea, to really build that confidence. And I think for me, we also discussed the role of the effective director, because I think if you really want to shine in that area, and Catherine here will tell us and repeat that, you really must understand your role. And this is where we also discuss the conflicts that come with that role. What do you do when you get yourself in a potentially conflicting position where somebody wants you to influence a decision a certain way? So we discussed all those, because being a director or in a person in the C-suite, it's not really a ride in the park. It's not usually a walk in the park. It's not calm waters. There are storms that come. So I think for you and all the other ladies, it is always very good to be prepared. How do you encounter those, and how do you override those hurdles that come your way as you serve as a director? Because that is how you establish your credibility as a director. And you ultimately, people may not like you for saying no to such a situation, but ultimately they will respect you, and others will want you on their side, those who want to do things the proper way. So we also talked about personal branding and professional branding. We talked about also the concept of authenticity, because I think for me, that is usually the biggest challenge. As you rise up the ladder and as you take on more responsibilities, as you get more recognition, sometimes we lose our credibility. We lose our authenticity also as individuals. And sometimes we want to become something else. And I like what somebody else said earlier. It's you develop your own style, develop your own approach, but more importantly, led by your values. I think I don't recall who talked about the values. I think it's very, very, very important. So for me, it was a very, very inspiring session, all of them. I also learned a lot. I think Beverly also said that she learned a lot, and it is also true. But also more importantly, also appreciating the diversity within the group and the different ways of thinking about the same thing by the different people. Because I think that is also one of the very important things that we have to learn, to embrace that diversity of thought, diversity of, where we are coming from, thought, and also the way we think about different things. So for me, it was also very important. I want to confirm today that I still owe these ladies one more session, which we couldn't do because I started travel for board meetings. And I can confirm now, and I wanted to go on record that I will still deliver that session to the ladies, so that I feel like I've really closed the session nicely, even after the graduation. But I really appreciate the opportunity to be your mentor. And I want to also thank the team at the network for giving me that opportunity. And I must say that I really enjoyed myself, and I look forward to further interactions going forward. Asante sana.
Thank you so much. I'm trying to sort of capture the essence, but it sounds like These ladies have all had a crash course in all things board related, whether that's figuring out your expertise, understanding the dynamics, managing your personal challenges, and then being authentic to who you are and how you bring that to the board. Thank you so much from Yvonne and Mary for sharing. I'd like to take a group photo. I see Yvonne's turned her camera back on. If we could take a group photo on 3, 2, 1, smile. Oh, 1 second. Oh. There we go. And one more, please. 3, 2, 1, smile. Great. Thank you so much, ladies, and congratulations on completing the program. Okay, as we move on to the next group, next up we have the Eagles. I believe Lena, your mentor, is here with us today as well. She's already applauding you. Fabulous. If you are in that group, kindly raise your virtual hand so we can invite you onto the virtual stage. I believe we've got Jerry with us. Eunice as the group lead is also with us. Fabulous. We'll just give us a second to set up the screen. And just as a heads up, I will ask the board venture group to just join us on stage again at the end because we had a technical glitch with your photo. So we just want to get a nice photo for you guys. But we'll do that at the end. Okay, great. So we've got Eunice. Most of the mentees are here, and Lena. Great. Eunice, can I hand it over to you to say a few words?
Yes, good morning.
Good morning.
It's good to see you all. Yeah, we had a very interactive, wonderful time with our mentor, Lena. And I must say that I learned a lot of patience from her. She was very patient, even, sometimes some people would come late and I was like, I don't know whether I would tolerate that, but she was very patient, very well prepared. And in every session, that preparedness is something that I take out from this. She was always very prepared, very open and very reflective. And then there's, she actually normalized being a woman leader and very authentic in her leadership. She shared her own personal journey, where she had to sacrifice a lot to be able to come back to Kenya and be with her family. Yeah, so we learned quite a bit. I'll say 4 things that we learned in those sessions about personal branding and influencing. That is where we were talking about networking, personal mastery, self-analysis, what is our purpose, what is our vision. Then there was the career progression, and she emphasized the importance of having, setting goals and knowing our industry and mastering our industry. Using achievements, past achievements to leverage on growth and taking advantage of, training and development opportunities outside our comfort zones. Number 3 was, how do we get sponsors? Not in the secular way of sponsor, but getting people who can actually talk for us in the boardrooms, and how to to get the right networks. We were also given an assignment. She gave us an assignment to identify 5 people in our network that we can reach out to be our sponsors. Then number 4 was conflict resolution. And I loved this topic very much personally, because you were talking about the importance of conflict. Why do we love or hate conflicts? what are the tactics for handling the conflict? And it was, I must say, she made it very interactive and very, accommodating every person, because we were very different. I personally am an entrepreneur, and she was able to, to bring all of us together and to have these conversations, and they were very enriching. So Lina, I must say that you're the best mentor, and we really appreciate you for taking us through that. And I know we agreed that we'll be meeting, our group, we agreed we'll be meeting even after this. Thank you.
Great, thank you. I love that. The
Thank you.
normalizing being a woman leader. I just love that. That really sort of stood out for me. Fabulous. Thank you, Eunice. Can I hand it over to you, Lina?
Yeah, thank you, Eunice. Thank you very much for the feedback. Let me start by appreciating the Women in Boards Network for the opportunity and the time to meet these amazing, amazing ladies that I have. Great honor, I think, to be able to be allowed to mentor such wonderful women. For the women, our Eagles, thank you for trusting me, for allowing me to come into your space, and I think for making everything possible the way you showed up. I think let me reflect on what I enjoyed most about our team. Actually, all our sessions were virtual, but despite that, it was so amazing, the trust and the respect and the open conversations that we were able to form. I think in our sessions, we formed a safe space where we came in, all of us, to learn, to share experience, and to be vulnerable, and really, really authentic, because I think we learned from experiences. And all the ladies in the Eagles team are women who are looking to enter boards. So our discussion was not more so focused around being in the board, but preparing ourselves for being in that board. And I think confidence is the underpinning thing. So if you looked at all our conversations, be it personal branding, how you show up, personal mastery, your purpose, having a purpose-driven life, and really, being on the space and finding your sweet spot, be it in your career or in your entrepreneurship. I think those are the things we focused on, networking and really putting yourself out. So my message to these lovely ladies is that no one is coming. You're the one you've been waiting for. I think no one is coming to give you that push to get into the board. You're the one who's been waiting for, yeah? And I think with that, I say, be bold, be gutsy, get out of your comfort zone. I think that's one of the things I keep saying, because for us to put ourselves out there as women leaders, we really need to come out of our comfort zones. I think someone and one of the other mentors talked about it, about networking, the importance of that. That is the reality of this space if someone wants to get into the board and progress in them. And I think it comes by being curious. And I think one of the other mentors talked about that. But I think for me, underpinning everything is the authenticity. And authenticity is really, really key, that you show up the way you are. I think as a leader, for me, I think authenticity is one of the things that I kept echoing to the ladies, to really be authentic. And authenticity also comes by really being self-aware and of who you are. So it's been an amazing journey. I think it was a lovely experience. At the end, we got to meet physically. We have said that we will continue meeting. And I think we've created a space where, despite anyone's challenges, they can put it to the group and we, can build onto it. So for me, I must echo what other mentors have said. It's been a learning experience, a two-way learning experience. I think that's the beauty of mentorship. It's not only the mentees who benefit, but the mentor as well. And that's what it's been. So it's been a fantastic 6 months and worth every moment that I've committed to it. And thank you very much for the opportunity. And the Eagles, thank you for just showing up right. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. I love that. I mean, what a confidence boost. You're the one you've been waiting for. I love that.
Yeah.
I just think it's yeah, that's fabulous. Thank you so much. I'd love to take a very quick group photo, and we'll try and add in the rest of the ladies who sent their apologies and were not able to make it today. 3, 2, 1, smile. And I will take one more. 3, 2, 1, smile. Fabulous. Thank you so much, Eunice.
Thank you very much.
And Lina. And
Thank you, Eunice.
congratulations. Great. Last but certainly not least, we have the final group that we'd like to present, the elite. And we've got your mentor, Chemutai. I see you're in the audience with us today as well. Thank you for joining us. If you are in that group, please raise your virtual hand briefly so we can add you onto the virtual stage. And I believe your group lead is Joyce. And is Joyce with us here as well? I thought I saw Joyce.
Sorry, she's traveling. I think she gave her apologies. Yeah.
Okay, no problem. Was there someone else that was going to share on behalf of the group?
I could share. This will be suicide.
Okay. Sorry, that was Anna, right?
Yes.
Great. So while we've got Kantai setting up the stage in the background, can I hand it over to you, Anna, to share a few words, please?
Thank you very much, Marcella. My name is Anna, and we are from Team Elite. A lot of the lessons that have been shared is part of what we covered. And for our group, I think one of the things I will highlight was we met online first. Let me begin there. We had online meetings. We are yet to have our physical one. So we haven't yet finished with Chemutai, and we look forward to our physical meeting. We covered various topics, and one of the two that I think stood out for me, one was on conflict management at the board level. Just how to manage, how to create constructive conflict, because not all conflict is bad, and how to be able to hear and understand where others are coming from. That stood out for me because I have, of course, anyone in leadership has experienced conflict, and sometimes we don't handle it to the best of our ability. At the board level, it's a completely different matter altogether. With it also, we talked about the conflict of values, because corruption is a vice and very prevalent in many of our spaces. How do you navigate there? Do you go and adapt and what everyone is doing, or how do you stand up for your values? So just having good conflict management skills and knowing what you stand for are some of the things that stood out on that topic. One of us here mentioned about the tea. We talked about that as well. We called it the double bind. Do you serve the tea? Do you not? And what were the strategies for going around that? How do you make sure you show respect to your elders, but you also remember you're there for a reason? You're there to deliver value. So you have to be very intentional. You have to keep your eye there and make sure you provide value. One of the things that made me really laugh there was I told her I attended. I told me I might have spoken too much and that maybe next time I need to learn to weigh my contribution, speak where needed. You know, it will be, I would call it like speaking, let your words be few, but very impactful, very relevant, so that your point is not lost in the noise. To Chemutai, thank you so much for spending time with us. Thank you for sharing your wisdom, your insights, your experiences, giving us tips that have made all of us become better leaders. Thank you for just being available for us. I really, really appreciate it. And we look forward to a physical session. Thank you.
Thank you, Anna. I love that. I love that you've been able to connect and build that relationship even virtually. I think that's something we can be grateful for. COVID has been terrible in so many ways, but the fact that we can connect virtually is a gift that we can continue to benefit from past this. Thank you so much for jumping in, Anna, and for sharing. Chemutai, can I hand it over to you for your thoughts?
Thank you, everybody, and Catherine and women on boards. Thanks for the opportunity. I've had a great opportunity really working with great women. I think at the beginning, we all really just said that, we are not coming to this journey of women at going to the boardroom or really being effective empty. There's so much we've learned, and it's how do you bring that experience into this new opportunity as a board member. It's not that you just switch off all the experience that you've gained and put on another dress, and say, I'm now a member. So it's really just saying you've got a lot, but which parts of that experience is more relevant for this journey? And so we started, we started really saying what are the topics that the members wanted to discuss. And then we started the first one, I just told them, we went through the topic, but I really didn't want to be a teacher. And really, I wanted to be taught by them. And so everybody picked a topic, and it was really fun, everybody sharing. You learn so much. There's so much in the perspective, really. When they say diversity of perspective, it really comes into the fore, because everybody has an experience from their experience. So it was really fun sharing that. We really captured some of the critical topics. I think many of the mentors and the mentee groups before us, they covered that very well. Presence, mastery, we covered many of those. Networking. It really are the things that really we want to get empowered around. And so we covered many of those. And really we did justice to the topic of double binds for women, damned if you do, doomed if you don't, and really how do you navigate those spaces, because you will always be caged in one of those. And really at the end of the day, what wins is being authentic and really showing up as yourself. And really, I think the key takeaways for me is I also just encourage women and even my team that really we must also put in a lot of time in terms of self-development. I was giving them the analogy of a mother feeding the child. The mother will feed you what they think is healthy for you, but at some point you will outgrow that, right? So how do you feed yourself? So be curious, learn. There's a lot to learn, and that knowledge helps you as you rise up the C-suite into the boardroom. There's just an amazing body of knowledge. So don't sit there just a little bit helpless. There is a lot to gain. And so I threw at them a lot. I'm quite a learner. I threw at them a lot of articles just to pick a few things. And I hope you continue on that journey. What I always challenge, women, I say is, we buy beautiful shoes for our feet, beautiful clothes for ourselves, but sometimes we do forget the most important person in the room, which is our brain. So keep them also, engaged. Give them throw at them a book once in a while. When you buy that beautiful pair of shoes, and knowledge grows from there. And really, when you go into these spaces, they really help you. And really, what I would just summarize from some of the things I've just taken away from one great lady, it's about the showing up. I think you've all been told about showing up, but when you show up, do speak up, do speak up there, and really look up what is your values, what is the purpose that you really want, and just pursue that. You can't do it alone, really. So you must team up with people. This is a perfect example of teaming up, right? So let's continue the teaming up. And then don't give up. There are many setbacks on this journey. I think many have shared, the setbacks, the journeys. Share the journeys. It's not easy. I was telling them about my particular journey in an audit environment when I started, very male dominated, and I just was encouraging ladies that, there's so much that has happened, look back and see the progress, there's been a lot of progress, and so continue making the progress, but don't forget, the journey that we've come from, and just lifting up people on this journey. And so we are really privileged to be part of your journey and continue lifting up ourselves and sharing. When we share, you realize you just so many of these things that happen just are not unique, and the more you share, you say, oops, you mean it, it's just like that, and really you get clarity around many things, and really taking opportunities. Many people are serving in, what they wouldn't classify as boards, chamas, church, and really take opportunities for those events and really learn the trick, so to speak, and you'll make it, and we'll be here to cheer you on. So that was my key takeaway, and it was really exciting, but we are still continuing. So I think we still have some things to do. Thank you.
Great. Thank you so much. That's fabulous. I think you summarized it so nicely. What we're hearing, what we've heard all morning, it's a very challenging and difficult journey to the board. And it's even more difficult once you're on the board, but also incredibly rewarding. But I think the message here is you have to prioritize yourself. And I think one step was committing to this program, but you have to prioritize yourself mentally, get enough sleep, physically, eat, hydrate, eat the right things. And then of course, psychologically, continue learning, continue engaging with people that inspire you, that challenge you. And so thank you so much for that sharing. And once again, congratulations to everyone, in particular, this group, the elite, also for completing this program. I would like to take a group photo with the elite. Does everyone have if everyone could just quickly turn on your camera, that would be fabulous. And then we will take, I have Joyce on my screen, and then Anna has disappeared. I don't know if she's still with us or had to step out. So maybe let me take a photo like this. 3, 2, 1. Oh, we've got Anna coming back. I'll give you a second to connect. Okay, we'll do 3, 2, 1, smile. And I will take one more, and we will Photoshop if needed to get Anna and the rest of the group in. 3, 2, 1, smile. Great, thank you very much, and congratulations to Team Elite. We will, if the board venture group can just stay on after. What I'd like to do now very quickly is just take a group photo. I've got you all in vision, so if you can turn on your cameras, please. We'll just take a quick group photo. I'll give it another few seconds. Cameras on, fabulous. You can see so much virtually, right? People are at home or back in the office or multitasking out and about. Okay, I'll take a photo. 3, 2, 1, smile. And I'm going to capture the second screen. So we're a full house this morning. 3, 2, 1, smile. Fabulous. And with that, we have a little surprise in store for you. Catherine, can I hand it over to you?
Thank you very much, Marcella. On behalf of the Women on Boards Network, allow me to do this.
I know this world seems so big, and everything seems so out of reach. The sky is high and the walk is wide. You just don't know what you've got yet. It's in the palm of your hand. It's right in front of where you stand. If you believe everything you dream will come true. And if you can love, no matter how you hurt, love will come to you, back to you. This world is yours. At times I know it's gonna be hard when you think you can't go on. But there's a plan for you. Just let your heart follow through. Come on, I promise you can do it all. 'Cause where you fall, you can always start again. Your future's right in front of where you stand. If you believe everything you dream will come true. And if you can love, no matter how you hurt, love will come to you, back to you. This world is yours. Climb a mountain, cross the ocean, sail a river until it opens, and make good friends. Listen hard, let it out, and dance on. If you believe everything.
Thank you, Marcella.
Oh, that was wonderful, Catherine. Very nice. What a great way to bring us back into the moment, right? And just sort of take a few minutes to reflect on what we've heard all morning. I don't know about you guys, but I've heard so much. I was taking notes. I was like, oh, that's even good advice and more good advice. It's like the program continues. And I think that's the point. We have simply facilitated a connection. It is for you to continue that relationship, obviously with respect to time commitments, and check that with your mentors, but it's for you to continue that that learning and getting that experience and understanding, who do you want to be as you're journeying to the board. Catherine, do you have any final thoughts to share today?
No, just to echo your words, more to thank the mentors, to thank the mentees, but most importantly, really to thank you, Marcella. You've been the glue that has made this program work. You have followed up, you have collated feedback, you have made it happen. Thank you so much. And I do look forward to running this program again with you and to benefit the greater membership of the Women on Boards Network. So thank you all, and God bless always. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Catherine. Thank you to our technical magician, Kantai, who obviously does a lot more than that, but today she's been an absolute lifesaver. I hope you enjoyed the immersive group photo. We're continuously learning as well. Obviously, thank you to Hannah, Ms. Wanga, Catherine, all of the mentors. Like we said, we might be knocking on your door. I hope you don't mind. You're always welcome to say no, but we do hope we can continue to stay connected and to keep everyone involved. And of course, I think, Catherine, we're looking forward to some of these ladies stepping into mentoring roles in the coming time and watching you grow that way as well. With that, just a final plug. The Women on Boards has their inaugural awards ceremony next week, Friday. So I think Kantai will share more about that in the follow-up email. There is also the annual conference coming up. So if you're not getting that information via LinkedIn or email, let us know. And of course, please, if it's the last thing we can ask of you, do share with us your feedback. We will send a feedback form. It will just take you a few minutes to complete, but we really appreciate that for our learning and continuous development as well. With that, thank you all very much. If the board ventures group can just hang on for a minute, we'll take another group photo for you. Have a wonderful day and a wonderful week ahead.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you and bye-bye.
Thank you. Take care. Okay. Perfect. Thank you, Kantai. 3, 2, 1, smile. And I will take one more as a backup. 3, 2, 1, smile. Thank you so much, ladies. Really appreciate it.
Thank you. This is a first for me. I've never seen this virtual photography.
Yeah, we're trying. Take care.
Nice. Yeah, thank you.
Most welcome. Thank you.
Bye.
Take care.
Stella, it went well. The immersive went well.
Should we stop the recording? Yeah.